Welcome back to How to Cake It. I'm Yolanda, and this week I'm caking what I think is an amazing decoration for the super popular game HayDay. HayDay! I'm caking a peacock. It's HayDay's 7th birthday, and they have asked me to participate in a cake challenge. If you vote for my cake, it will become a new decoration in the HayDay game. Woo! Ow! Oh, I'm playing HayDay. I think it's an amazing game, but you know what it's missing? I'm looking through the decorations. I would really use a peacock right now. I need your help to make this happen.
Whose help, Yolanda?
Your help!
All right.
I'm wearing a bandana. You have to vote. You need to vote for my peacock cake to become a decoration in the game HayDay.
Woo!
Woo!
Where do they do that? You should show them with your
There's a link in the description. Thank you to HayDay for supporting and collaborating with us on this video. To make my peacock cake, I baked 13 pounds of my ultimate vanilla cake, and I dyed it yellow and green like the HayDay logo. Really what I thought is these are just beautiful colors, and then I was like, my goodness, it matches exactly.
You're really working it. I like it.
Now I'm gonna cut all 6 of my cakes into 2 layers for a total of 12 layers of cake. It's time for Sir Squeeze to come in and help me simple syrup all my layers of cake. What would Sir Squeeze do on a farm? Oh, he could water things.
Yes.
We would just ditch the simple syrup for water. Approved.
Approved.
Now I'm going to fill and stack my cakes with Italian Meringue Buttercream with, I actually made this buttercream with eggs and butter from a farm.
Oh.
See what I did there?
As opposed to?
You know, the other eggs and butter. So I'm going to fill and stack my cakes one size at a time. So I have 4 8-inch layers, 4 7-inch layers, and 4 6-inch layers. And while I fill my cakes, I'm alternating those beautiful green and yellow colored layers of cake.
Love it.
HayDay! I'm gonna be really subtle in asking you to vote for me. Super subtle. I'm not gonna say obvious things like, please vote for me using the link below. I'm just gonna, nudge you in the direction and remind you of how well thought out this is. You know what they say, it isn't a farm till you've got a peacock.
Who says that?
I say that all the time. Cody, haven't you heard me say that?
Oh, back in the countryside where I'm from. That's what everyone's saying.
Exactly. So this is gonna be really fun. This is where I describe how I carved, and even though I did it, I can't really describe how I did it.
What are you carving?
I'm carving it into a peacock.
But like just the body or?
The body. I started with an 8-inch round cake. I laid an 8-inch round pan on top so I could cut the caramelization away from one area, still leaving it round, okay? And then I took that 8-inch pan and put it on top of the 6-inch cake, but this time with the curve going sort of into the circle, so I cut out like a little nook. So now I can butt the 6-inch cake up against the 8-inch cake.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I place the 7-inch cake on top of the 8-inch cake. So now I have this kind of like L of cake.
That sounds exactly like a peacock.
A rounded L. If you want to make a peacock, you start with a rounded L. So now it's time to carve. There's a lot of footage of me procrastinating, which won't be included.
I got all that.
So I'll just tell you, I just sort of look at it and try to picture a peacock, which is hard. At one point I even took a break and put the cake in the fridge, came back and carved. And sometimes I find that really helpful because when you're staring at it for so long, you're not sure if you're seeing what you want to see. And quite frankly, when a cake is in layers, especially beautiful HayDay yellow and green layers with buttercream, the link's below, that can throw your eye off because you just see layers and I'm trying to see a body. So if you need to take your time, take a moment, walk away, scream a bit, throw some hay, come back and carve. So now that I'm happy with my shape, we have to remember that the cake I butted up at the back and the cake I put on top, there was no buttercream between. And then I'm gonna ice the back, put the tail on, ice the top, and put like the neck on. Yes, and then do you know what I did? You know what every farm needs, right? a megaphone. Farms are large. How are you gonna hear each other?
It's true.
Jocelyn,
Yes.
it's time to crumb coat and chill.
HayDay.
That was well done. We don't even practice. Now that my crumb coat is chilled, it's time to ice this cake again with Italian Meringue Buttercream. Because the Peacock is so nicely rounded, I'm gonna use my invention to help me out. Because I want this decoration to look amazing, so that your HayDay experience will be made much better.
Yes.
Have you checked out my new Mix 'em Up stickers? They fit beautifully on your hand mixer or your stand mixer. I want you guys to take pictures of how you decorate your mixers and put them up on Instagram. Make sure you tag me at Yolanda_Gampp and pick up your mixer stickers using the link below. My cake is chilling. I need to make a head for this peacock. I don't want you to have a headless peacock on your farm.
Awkward.
Awkward. For his head, I am using my Sculpting Rice Krispie mixture. It's really easy. You just melt or heat some marshmallows in the microwave till they get puffy, stir them, and then stir them into Rice Krispies, knead it all together so that it's nice and like compacted. It's almost like the Rice Krispies sort of break up and you have this moldable mixture that you can make into anything like a peacock head. So I work my mixture into the shape of a head. I compare it to my cake. I want to make sure that the neck of my head will meet the neck of my cake. You know, so it will,
same like width.
Same width, yes. And now I can ice this head with Italian Meringue Buttercream, rather crumb coat it and chill it. And once that's chilled, I can ice it again. Time to cover my cake and the head. For this, I'm using some gorgeous blue fondant because it will really just dress up your farm. I make sure to measure my cake and then I roll out my blue fondant so that it's big enough to go around my cake. So I roll it out, and now this part always makes me nervous, but Cody, how smooth was it?
Oh, so smooth.
One try, one try. I
Yes.
faced the peacock, like I had the back face towards me, I had my fondant in front, and then I just picked it up really quick and like wrapped it around. Like the peacock just got out of a shower and this is the hot towel. You know what I mean? And then as quickly as you can, cut away sort of the excess, because the heavier the fondant is, the more it wants to sort of pull back and fall down. Started to smooth the fondant along the cake with my hands, and then I just trimmed it everywhere I needed to and make sure it looks nice and smooth. Of course, you can seam hide the seam on the back of your bird by making a little bit of fondant paste with your blue fondant and clear food grade alcohol, and then just carefully ice it into that groove. Oh, you don't know who the seam hider is? Seems like a job for the seam hider. Now for the head, I didn't want like a straight seam in the neck of the peacock. So I wanted to drape the head with fondant and then make sure that there was enough excess. So for this, I need to raise my head up. Keep your head up.
Keep your head up.
So what I did is I have like this ceramic cupcake paper, and once it was secure, I rolled out my blue fondant, draped it over the head, and I'm using some manicure scissors and some sculpting tools, just trim it like sort of feathers, like sort of like a fringe. So now I have a body and I have a head. The first thing I'm gonna add to this cake are its wings. Didn't we Google if peacocks flew? We did, they do.
They do. Yeah, no, I've seen them fly.
But only...
You see the peacock fly?
Yeah, like a peacock
Convention?
At the park in Victoria. No.
Of course, I'm me, I need to create a template. So what I did is I took some tracing paper and then I sort of just freehand drew a wing, traced it onto a piece of paper, folded it in half, and cut out 2 of those wings. Now I have some more blue fondant that I rolled out in sheets to create the wings. To fill up the wing and make it look full, what I'm going to do is use a set of teardrop cutters and cut out various sizes of blue fondant teardrops. But we're not sad, we're happy. These are happy tears. And now what I'm going to do is glue them onto that one main sort of curved teardrop. And I start with the biggest at the fattest part of the wing, and I just sort of glue them on with piping gel, add sort of 3 extra large teardrops, then 4 smaller, and I just keep getting smaller as I go down to the tip. Now I'm gonna paint these wings. I'm gonna mix together some sort of turquoise luster dust that I have with some clear food grade alcohol and paint both wings entirely. So adding this head is a little nerve-wracking. I was really nervous. I really want this cake to be perfect for you guys. I looked at all the decorations and spent some time in the forums trying to figure out what fans would really want. When I saw some people say peacock, I was totally inspired. I tried to get into like a HayDay mindset, but here's how I did it. I'm gonna insert 2 dowels into the neck. Now I have 1 full dowel. I'm gonna sharpen both ends of that dowel, and then I'm gonna send that dowel down into the center of the neck. Now I can carefully add the head. Tricky part is I'll never know how it slides over the body of the cake. Will it crack? Will it break? Drama. I also provided drama in the entertainment. The head is on successfully, but I'm not sure how I feel about the neck at this point. I'm not sure it's good enough for me, but I have to attend to these wings right now and brush piping gel on it. But if I flip it over, I'll just pull off all the paint. So I awkwardly hold it up in my hand and paint underneath with piping gel because I'm devoted to this project.
Love it. Love it.
Jocelyn loves it, and I hope you love it too. Too hosty?
I voted.
Thank you, Jocelyn.
You're
Did you
welcome.
vote, Cody?
Of course I did.
Thank you, Cody. 2 votes! Yes!
Yes.
My wings are on. I'm very happy with them, but now I'm sure that I am not happy with the neck. So what I'm going to do is carefully use a sharp paring knife to trim away that excess fondant that's hanging down. And I'd rather just attempt something new than try to mend. I don't want to cover up anything. Honesty, that's also what I'm offering you. And then I've decided to recreate that sort of fringe with teardrop shapes. This way it mimics the wings.
All coming together.
That's right. Not only is he peacocking, but he's in fashion. On point with his little feathery choker. It's almost Yo-Yo Day, and on June 6th, you'll be able to head into a participating bakery and get a free sweet treat. The good news is when you share your treat on social media with the hashtag Yo-Yo Day, you are entered to win a special prize pack. I will see you on Yo-Yo Day. I'm much happier now, and I can move on to the tail. That's like a peacock's mane. That's the outfit.
That's it.
I have like a big foam board circle. I'm gonna mark out a pattern. It's kind of like a fan pattern. And now the next thing I need to do is just use a circle cutter to just mark circular ends to each point in the fan and then cut those away with an X-Acto knife. We should have like animal sounds in the background.
Yeah, what does a peacock?
Ooh, I don't know what a peacock
Oh,
does.
that was a cow.
That was a cow, yeah. Peacocks definitely don't move. That I know. Now I need to roll out some green fondant, and then I'm just gonna paint the surface and the side edges of my board with some clear piping gel so that my fondant will stick, and then lay it down onto the board. And now I can carefully flip my tail over and then cut away the excess fondant. There's better footage than me doing this, which tells you nothing. And now I'm just gonna sort of trace out that fan pattern onto my fondant. And then what I'm gonna do is alternate and paint each one of these feathers with piping gel. Now I can roll out some more green fondant, lay it on top and smooth it down and trim the excess the same way I did the first time. I'm gonna use a ruler again from that center point to the edge of each fan and cut along those lines. And this way, because I alternated, the fondant will only stick where I painted the piping gel. The rest of the fondant I'll remove as I cut. The next thing I need to do is roll out some colors of fondant. I'm using my teardrop cutters to cut this shape out of my colored fondant. I want all of my teardrops to be yellow. Then I'm going to cut circles out of my purple fondant. And what I want to do is use circle cutters that fit in the corresponding teardrop. And now I'm going to cut little half moon shapes out of my blue fondant.
Okay.
We have to name my peacock. I think he's Petey. I just named him. What's his name?
Well, thanks for including everybody.
I think his name has to be with a P. For the smaller little half moons I need, I just use piping tips and I cut a circle and then cut a piece out of it to get that same shape. Now what I need to do is paint my teardrops and my half moons. I have like this yellow luster dust. So I've mixed this luster with food grade alcohol and I'm gonna paint all of my yellow teardrops that are cut out of fondant. I'm gonna leave the purple just a nice vibrant purple, but for my half moons, which are blue, I'm going to paint them with a blue luster dust. It was really hard to paint the tiny ones. I literally had to just like dot, dot. To create the pattern in my tail, what I need to do is lay on my teardrop cutter, and then I carefully use a paring knife to remove the fondant. So now I have this whole peacock feather tail with no color, just green. What am I gonna do? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm going to start by gluing in my beautiful yellow lustered teardrops. So I just paint the bottom of the board in the opening with some clear piping gel, and then I carefully lay my teardrops in. Now keep in mind, for all of the raised feathers that technically have 2 layers of fondant, we want to lay 2 teardrops in. Otherwise it'll be sunken in. If you don't have a peacock, is it a farm? You drive past a farm, oh, there's no peacock, please. The next thing I've decided to do is glue my blue half moons onto my purple circles. Just make sure to glue the right size half moon onto the right size circle, and then glue that combination into the yellow teardrops.
Beautiful.
It's a peacock! Well, it's a peacock tail. It's not on the bird yet. You know what else my peacock needs? Eyes, a beak,
A face.
feet, and then the little, like, peacocks have this nice, yeah. It's like a fascinator. It's
Yeah.
incredible. For the peacock's eyeballs, I've decided to form them in these. I have these measuring spoons that I love to use as molds. And this is a first. I've made a lot of character eyes on the show, but this time his eyes are not symmetrical on purpose.
What?
One is bigger than the other.
HayDay.
Yeah, the HayDay chicken has that.
Oh.
So I figured if the peacock's gonna go hang out with the
Yeah.
chicken,
Yeah.
this is a HayDay peacock. I
Yeah.
designed this peacock specifically for HayDay. This is not any run-of-the-mill peacock. For the pupil, I'm gonna roll out some black gum paste really, really, really thin. And then of course, I'm also gonna roll out some white gum paste thin because we need a catch light. Is it a character without a catch light?
No.
No. And place them onto the eyeballs. We're gonna use some clear piping gel just to glue them down. I mean, well, peacocks are like the lions of birds. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They strut their stuff, they're fancy, they're bougie. They would look so good on your farm. For the beak, I just sort of roll out a ball and then use my fingers to make it pointy at one end. I also want to keep in mind that it has to fit up against the cake. And then to create the line in the beak, this beak has to open.
Yes.
I just used my knife and created an indent from one side to the tip and the other side to the tip. And I can make it a little deeper by using my knife, the back side of my knife. And now I'm going to use sculpting tools to just poke 2 holes. For the feet, I've rolled the yellow gum paste into a ball, and then I roll it into like a tube that's sort of thicker at one end and thinner at the other. And then I line those 3 tubes up against each other with the biggest one in the middle. And now I'll just sort of smooth down and cut off the bottom. I don't want like a pointy tip. And this way I can just add it at the bottom of the cake and then create a second one. And now I have to make the fascinator. And what I did is I just sort of rolled out that similar shape like the feet. The same sort of idea, a cord that's thicker at one end and thinner at the other, but then I flattened it. What I want to do is use a toothpick and just carefully insert it into my teardrop. And I set them aside bent slightly to dry like that with a toothpick inside. So now it's time to put my peacock together. Petey is gonna come together. I really hope you guys pick my cake, Petey the Peacock, to be a decoration in the HayDay game. Click the link in the description to vote. I really would appreciate all of your votes. I even went the extra mile and just quickly made the HayDay logo out of fondant, just in case you don't remember what you're voting for. Just in case. His wings are sparkly, his hair is sparkly, and his choker is just plain. I can't do that, so I painted his choker. Mixed up some blue luster, and I painted all the feathers around his neck. And so, he looks good now. Wait till you see his tail. He's just a blue bird right now. He's Pete the Bluebird. We're waiting for Pete. Petey the Peacock. I really can't wait to see what you guys think. How many of you play HayDay? Leave a comment below. Is Petey the Peacock the perfect choice for your HayDay farm? See what I did there?
Yeah.
A lot of P's in there. It's good, it's catchy. Oh, a peacock would look so good right here. Yeah, I feel like the fans should perhaps, vote for that or something. I'll see you guys over on the HayDay community tab where I will be placing my vote. I could vote for myself, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Excellent. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please vote for Petey the Peacock. I'm really, really excited. Thanks again to HayDay, and please subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell because I will be here again next week.